Hi, welcome to my first unboxing of this channel. I thought it'd be fun to open up this black Minc machine. It's just a regular Minc laminator, 12-inch, but I haven't seen too many people with it in black, so I thought it'd be fun to open it up and then do a tutorial using toner foil and Memorial Day images since today's Memorial Day. I will show you what printer I use, what foil I use, and obviously what laminator I use, assuming it works. It's brand new, so we'll see. So stick around. I'm going to tilt the camera down a little bit just so you could see the actual box. I won't belabor this too much because it really is just your plain old Minc machine, but as you can see, it is in black, which is not one that I've seen before. I think if I researched correctly, this one was exclusive to Scrapbook City, the store in Mexico. So I'm hoping that it will use an American connector, which it does, thank goodness. Of course it does, right? The only other one was the European connector. So let's cut that out. Oh, this is interesting. So keep in mind, I bought this from eBay, so it is secondhand. So it's got some, what looks like plaster or something right there. So let's hope it works. If not, we will use the Minc that we already have. So this is what it looks like. Okay. I don't know what people do during unboxing videos. I'm so sorry. I feel like I haven't watched one in a decade, but here you go. The moment of truth. This is my absolutely favorite part. And you know what's funny is I leave this for people, like when my car has plastic, I'll leave it for someone that really likes to do it just because I know that that gives them enjoyment. But here we go. Can I zoom in on this? Should have been doing like a, you know what? Let me get my phone to do the detail too. Hold on, wait. Okay, forgive me if you see my phone. I can never do backwards right here, but I'm a new content creator, so I'm trying to maximize the amount of footage that I use for this. And also forgive me for cutting off my face, but I figured this is what you're really here for. So here we go. ASMR this bad boy, if I can. Okay, so sorry, it's a lot of crinkling. Get it all away. So here is our black Minc. Really pretty, really sleek. I'm loving the color. Let me put it up to you. Excuse any reflections that you might see. It's just gonna be me. So this is the black Minc. Really sleek, really pretty. Big fan. Let's hope that it works. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit from the unboxing onto the actual digital foil printing. So what I have here is just white smooth cardstock. If you have seen my intro for foils basics, you know that that is one of the most important things, is to make sure that you have smooth paper. It's one of 5 really basic things. This is one of the 3 white ones that I really like. It's either Hammermill, Hamilco from Amazon, one of the 2, or Recollections from Michael's. I'll be honest with you, I have at this point just mixed them all in, so I don't know which is which. But either way, they all work. Some are a little bit whiter than others, so you'll want to check them out, test them out, and see which one you like. But I'm gonna switch you over to the printer, which you can see right here. This is the Brother 2370, but there's a couple of tricks that you'll want to know to make your job easier and to make the foil even more full coverage. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit. So starting off, again, smooth paper. I like to use the front cover instead of the bottom cover, because when you pull the paper in, basically it's going in one side and then coming out the other. And for me, that's just more like exposure. I don't even know where I'm looking, to be honest with you. That's more like exposure to being able to like pick up more dust and stuff. Dust, especially ink dust, is gonna be one of your nemesis when printing. So yes, I like to use the front cover right here, and then just opening up in the back. Open up the back cover, slide it in through the front cover. My house is really old, the electrical's really old, so forgive me if like all of a sudden the lights turn off. So I try to make sure that it pulls in correctly. Something about my printer always wants to pull in kind of crooked. At the end of the day, for me, it's not the end of the world. But if that really matters to you, make sure that you're careful with that. I have something already saved. So I went out to Creative Fabrica and I just looked for Memorial Day images and put a couple on a Pages worksheet. There are some specifics about how to print. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm actually not even going to do it right now. So my hope is that it prints out pretty well. I want to make sure that this is very user friendly to anyone who is just starting off and doesn't want to go through the detail of choosing high quality 1200 DPI, all those other things. So just get a laser printer, stick a smooth paper in there, and let's see what the results are. So here's our print. You'll notice when I pull the printer forward a little bit, it went straight through the back and it doesn't curl too much. So that's the trick about using the back end paper. Minimize curling, minimize exposure to, ink getting mixed in. The other thing that you can do is dust off your paper to make sure if any ink kind of moves around or splatters off, that your foil doesn't pick up, especially if you're using just white paper that you're going to use as part of the background. So let's get started. Here are our 4 Memorial Day images, and let's hook up our Minc machines. So I'm gonna turn off my printer because, like I said, I have a really old house and I don't want, the electrical to be tripped or anything when I heat up the Minc. For some reason, the laser printer takes up a lot more energy than an inkjet printer. In my experience, my house lights have never turned off with this one, but they do turn off with this one. And the Minc is obviously using a lot of heat. So just for safety purposes, I'm gonna turn both off. You don't have to do this if you're not living in a house from the 1960s that hasn't been updated in a while. So if you know of a good electrician, please let me know. I'm more than happy to pay the going rate. Okay, so we're gonna connect the Minc, and the goal is to run our smooth paper through the laminator. There is one thing that is needed, and that is transfer folder pre-orders. Hold on. So we have the Minc in front of us. We also have our smooth paper and our transfer foil, but we're missing the most important thing, which is our foil. So I'm gonna tilt you down just so you could see my stash. And I'll be honest with you, this isn't my full stash. I might be hiding somewhere on the side. Don't tell anyone. So underneath my laser printer, I have my foils, which, as you can see here, this top drawer are the ones that I have multiple rows of. Don't ask me why. It was a sale. Don't judge. And then the bottom ones, I have ones that I just have one, so I'm a little bit more precious with them. So let's go with the ones that I'm not too precious with. I think this one's really fitting because it is stars, holographic stars. Hopefully you could see that. How do beauty influencers do this? So let's use this and get started. That was not as slick as I was hoping it would be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut my foil. Let's set my paper aside. I'm gonna cut my foil. I know my paper is 8.5 by 11, obviously, so I guess not obviously, if different countries have different standard sizes, but for the USA, it's 8.5 by 11. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my foil, put it on my cutting mat, and just because it's already 12 inches and my paper is 11 inches, I'll just cut off the excess for later, but essentially I'm just gonna be cutting off 8.5 inches. Let me put you down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry for repeating this angle. I'm trying to find one that isn't like weirdly cut off. So I start at 0 inches, obviously, and like I said, it is 12 inches long. I need 11 inches, so I'm just gonna cut that part off later. But my secret weapon is this rotary cutter. Shout out to others who have used this for t-shirt making and whatnot. It has been a lifesaver for foil cutting. So you might not be able to see, but this is starting at the number 0. So I'm gonna cut it up to 8.5. I could probably cut it even a little bit less, but just to be safe, for full coverage, I'm gonna put it up to 8.5. This is 12 inches long. I only need 11 inches, so I'm not gonna bother cutting this until I have my paper sized right at the top. Actually, let's do that. So normally I would just use the ruler like this, right? But since we have our paper and we know that we're gonna be covering almost all of it, let's set it down and then just cut around. This is obviously not the best way to do it. I'm not cutting on even surface, but it does the job. Let's hope it doesn't do the job so well that it cuts my fingers too. They tell you not to play with scissors when you're younger, and yet here I am. Who gave me these? I don't know. Let's try that again. Good enough. I'm not too picky. Make sure you have safety first. Now let's fix the camera angle a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the foil so that it is pretty side up, meaning the design or the color is facing the top, not touching the toner. So toner, pretty side up. Okay. Put our cutting board aside. Put this inside of our folder. If you can, what I found is that the closer that it is to the edge, the better it adheres. And I think that's because it's catching on to all of it right away. So I like to do the long ways this way. To turn on your Minc machine, you'll have a button in the back. Okay, there's another button over here that's reverse. If it gets caught, you can back it out. Very helpful. It didn't turn on, so that's a problem. Okay, it did turn on. My bad. I'm so sorry, GR Perks. I almost doubted you. Okay, so I just pressed the button. And it's gonna depend, let me get down here. It's gonna depend like the thickness of the paper, what number you're gonna need. Generally, you're pretty good with being on number 3. There are some papers that are a little bit thicker that I find number 4 is most helpful. So let's get a number 3 for now and see how it goes. Make sure that you wait until the light is green. If it's still blinking red, that means it's not ready. It's not hot enough. I hope it's okay. I scooched the Minc over and me under, I guess, because I want to make sure that I'm able to get both, and talking to you guys with just like half my body showing is kind of weird. Maybe that's just me. Okay, so it is ready. So now all we have to do is run our smooth paper foil facing up in a carrier folder. Other people who use laminators will sometimes fold just piece of paper, just regular copy paper, 20-pound copy paper, as your carrier folder. Other people that I've seen just run it through the machine. I'm not that brave. I feel like the machine's gonna get caught and my $100 will be wasted. So yeah, my stingy ass is not gonna be doing that. So let's try it with the transfer folder. Okay. Make sure that when you're putting it in, you don't like go crooked, because then it's gonna get caught and you're gonna have to do the reverse thing. So watch me do it right now on accident. It is very slow, just a heads up. I think I'm actually gonna end up cutting, so it's a 12-inch carrier folder. I feel like cutting, so normally it's 8.5, cutting maybe 4 inches. What's 12 minus 8? That's 4, right? No, 12 minus 9 would be 3. Just so that it'll run faster. Those 4 inches are, for me, unnecessary, and I do not have the patience for them. I like to hold it from the back. I don't know why. And so see, by this time, it's like 2 inches down, and the rest of this time is just kind of unnecessary. Props to Minc, GR Perks, and Scrapbook City. The black Minc machine does work. I was a little worried, I'm not gonna lie to you. It isn't as hot as I anticipated it would be. So I think I might run it through at a 4 just to make sure that it worked. So you don't technically need to do this. For me, in my opinion, 1 pass should be more than enough. I'm doing it on camera so that I don't have to reprint this just because I'm running out of time to film. But yeah, I think 1 pass should be more than enough. When you feel that you need to run it through again, I think you just haven't found the right heat settings or the right paper or whatever it might be. So yes, while I am doing this, please don't follow suit. Find the right heat settings for you, find the right paper for you, so that you just have to run it through once. Unless you're a really patient person and you like watching it go through the machine, by all means, not my thing. See what I mean? Oh, there it is. It's getting stuck right there. That's what I mean by make sure that you're careful with where you're putting it in so that it doesn't get stuck. It got stuck and it didn't melt, it just kind of got crooked. So I'll most likely be a little bit more careful moving forward. Now that we're done, we can turn off the Minc machine. Normally what I do is I will wait till this is a little bit cooler. Like with HTV or DTF transfers, you could have a marble slab, run it over so that it cools down a little bit faster if you don't have the time. Again, this is one of those things that I do not because anyone said to, it's just in my mind. If I rub it together, I haven't seen it on any tutorials or anything, but I will run my fingers on top of it because I think that I'm making it stick more that way. No evidence to say that that actually works, but yeah, it's just one of those things that you start doing and then you kind of don't stop. Let's take this off. If you like the satisfaction of the peel, make sure that you're holding down the paper because sometimes with the static of the plastic carrier sheet, it will want to come up. Okay, let's set that to the side. And here are our, again, still have to rub it like a weirdo. Should be good. Okay, I'm gonna get you up close for this. I really hope that you can see this. You could see the Memorial Day right there already, right? Heck yeah. Okay. So, hoping you could see this on camera. But you'll notice there's not a lot of black spots. That is what you want. When you start seeing black dots in between, it means that that's ink that the reactive foil didn't adhere to. But this looks wonderful. Let's appreciate each one on its own. I'm not gonna be able to do it. So cool. So here is, let's see if I could get this for a short. Ah, it looks so cool. Please tell me I'm not the only one who thinks that foils are so dang cool. And that's it. Happy Memorial Day. I hope this was helpful to someone. Thanks for joining me on my 3rd overall video. I promise they'll get better. Actually, I don't promise. We'll see. Stick around if you want to find out. Okay, bye. Have a happy Memorial Day. Minc laminator, but I haven't seen a lot of people that backwards thing's forever gonna kill me. Let's switch gears a little bit from the unboxing. That was really quick. Sorry, I don't know what's supposed to happen on unboxings. You know what it is that I'm looking at myself instead of looking at the camera. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Okay. Dude, is it just me or do I look thick? People that know me, do I look thicker on camera? This is not like a vanity thing. This is not how I picture myself looking. I know, Mike, I know what you're gonna say. Making YouTube videos is very tiring. I don't know how you people do this. Oh, shout out to Milk and Honey for these gorgeous earrings. Don't mind me. I hope it's okay. I scooched the Minc over and me under because your girl's tired. So patience is virtue. Okay. Thanks. Bye.